Recording the screen. You can use Camtasia to capture what's on your computer screen as a video. Let's say you want to create a video on how to use a library database, and you will add this video to your Blackboard course. You can navigate to the page and then select Record the Screen in Camtasia. This will bring up the capture tool. You then have to make a couple of decisions about the dimensions. First, you have to have a clear notion of how your video will be shared. If YouTube, then select a dimension suitable for YouTube. You might have already created a project with those dimensions. In that case, just make sure the capture dimensions are the same. Now, on some computer monitors, 1280 by 720 pixels will not even begin to capture the entire screen. So you may be tempted to select a full screen, but I'm afraid that has its own problems. The capture will then potentially be reduced to a smaller size, for example, standard YouTube dimensions, when it's produced. This will create legibility problems. My solution is generally to size my browser window to fit the recording's dimensions. That means I may have to scroll within the browser window, which is not very kind to viewers of your video. However, you can edit out the scrolling pretty artfully, so that's not a problem impossible to surmount. As you can see, you have the ability to record both audio with a microphone and system audio. You can, for example, record a presentation and capture its audio. As I mentioned before, I would record the microphone audio outside of Camtasia, but you may want to record the presentation audio in Camtasia as you're capturing the visuals, despite the inferior quality. You can also record from your webcam. We're going to turn all the audio inputs off. Luckily, if you forget to do this, you can always delete the audio track in Camtasia. But if you've already recorded your step-by-step audio, just how can you sync the audio with the video capture? I suppose there are various ways to do this, but here's my process. I open up the audio file in an audio player, then find the right spot on the track, then hit pause. I then hit record in Camtasia. I wait for the 3-second countdown, then hit play in the audio player. I then try to synchronize my actions with the audio. Does this work perfectly? The answer is seldom. What generally happens is my actions take longer than I expected, or I botch something, or hit the wrong button, have to backtrack, and so on. I used to stop recording and start over, and sometimes you'll have to do just that. More often, however, I just proceed with recording the actions. Once I have all the actions recorded, I can then edit the audio to synchronize the parts, or vice versa. Once the recording is done, I click Save and Edit, as I always want to edit the screen capture. If I know I've really botched it irredeemably, I can also just delete it and start over. Once you save the clip, it will appear on the timeline at the playhead. You can move it around if you want. If you recorded the audio will appear as a separate track beneath the video capture. You can edit the segment by splitting it, deleting what you don't need, and by extending individual frames. Let's say that your audio describing a task lasts 6 seconds longer than the video capture. You can place your playhead at a frame, right-click, and then select Extend Frame. You'll be asked to provide the duration. You can do this once per segment. If you need to use this feature more than once, split the track. You will find this particular feature invaluable. You can also adjust the clip speed on this menu. You can speed up or slow down sections of your video. I've used this to fast forward through actions that have a lot of steps and take forever to complete. I generally drop in a music track to avoid having extended silence in my video. You can also add transitions to each video segment and overlay images, callouts, and other elements. Just make sure that the video is lower on the timeline than those callouts and other additions.